Welcome to Psychology to Daf. We are in Gemara Moed Kattan Daf Zayin. And our Gemara over here discusses situations where a Kohen would inspect a Metzora on Chol HaMoed. Now, the deciding factor is, will it result in an improvement in his condition and his situation or a worsening? You see, when a Metzora is declared definitely afflicted with Saras by the Kohen, he must leave the Jewish camp and be in isolation. However, he's still permitted to engage in marital relations. However, here's the interesting twist. Once he is declared healed by the Kohen, he has to go through a purification process, and during that 7-day process, he has to abstain from sexual relations. So the Gemara says that the dispute about whether or not a Kohen will inspect a Metzora during his period of isolation kind of depends on what the benefit is and whether it's seen as a benefit. Because on the one hand, if he's seen during his definite isolation, the Kohen looking at him could bring a benefit, no loss, but could bring a benefit because he'll be able to socialize. After that, once he is declared healed and he goes through the purification process, even during the purification process, he is allowed now to socialize. On the other hand, at that moment, he becomes forbidden to his wife. So the Gemara says that this machlokas really depends on what is more important to a person, to have social interaction with community and friends, or to be permitted to have intimate relations with one's wife. And I think it's a very interesting idea because I think that couples work out friendship differently. I think some couples are focused on making the husband and wife relationship as primary, even to the point of trying to be best friends. Other couples see marriage on a separate plane and still pursue friendships, often having what they call a boys' night out or a girls' night out, allowing friends to fill a distinct emotional space. Some would argue that a spouse cannot really be a buddy. There are different expectations and responsibilities. There are also couples who have such different interests and hobbies that they need friends to fill the gap. If one spouse likes classical music and the other one likes poker, it's going to be challenging to try to share in each other's activities. Personally, I'm a believer that you should strive to make your spouse into your best friend. I say this on good authority, as most people who know my wife and I would agree that we are about as opposite as day and night. Even if you do have different tastes and entertainment needs, I believe each should take turns trying to join in the other person's interests with an open mind and without resentment. It's reasonable to suppose that spouses who spend more positive time together tend to feel closer and more in love. However, I also see nothing wrong with spouses having separate time with friends and deep friendships outside of marriage, so long as it does not become a crutch to fill in and avoid difficulties in the marriage relationship.